front seat of the Dart is kind of ratty. First thing I had to do was cut some hog rings around the outer perimeter so I could reach the bolts and separate the bench from the backrest. A good set of wire cutters is going to be your friend. Lots of hog rings. Hog rings are these little staples, and they squeeze them, and that holds all these little rusty things, hog rings. Try not to cut yourself. Anyways, these cutters are a set of miniature bolt cutters. Will cut your hog rings, and then you can take it all apart. When you reassemble it, you can use, well, new hog rings, I guess. Anything you have. There's the Chrysler Corporation car production broad something. Anyways, I guess it's the broadcast sheet, but it's pretty destroyed. It's a 4-door slant 6 Dart from '66. There's nothing going to be on there that it's a car, but it's cute to find, still in existence, although far from intact. So anyways, we're going to take these staples off and pull this cover off. It looks like all the springs are here. So maybe just a new cover will get us by for this year. And we'll worry about better seats or some other stuff for next time. Give yourself a couple hours. This is not fast. I looked at what my options were, cost-wise, and I could just throw a blanket over her and ride it out like that. I thought I could maybe do a better job. Padding is kind of tore. I don't know. I could take all this off and still put a blanket over it. It's really difficult to work on when it's in the car. So, you know, pulling it off and giving it a good inspection. Make sure the frame isn't damaged, because sometimes they'll crack. I know I had an AMC with a cracked frame one time. This is a nice place to have a wheelie chair. Doing this upside down, standing on your head in the car, is the opposite of what anybody wants to be doing on a Saturday. I guess you could put some racing seats in it. I don't know. Some people don't like bucket seats. Personally, I would go with bucket seats if I had a set. But the only thing that I have with bucket seats is a Subaru. They're the wrong color. They're gray instead of tan or gold. I don't really want gray. There's still the possibility that I'll try and fix the Subaru. I don't know why I think that, but I know what's wrong. Something broke. I mean, but I've got so many parts. I could still fix that Subaru. I don't know what we'll do with it. But if I take parts out of it, it's definitely a scrap car. And its value plunges as a scrap car. So, you know, I'm hesitant to make that turn. It's hard to even drag around in the yard with no seats. If I went to bucket seats, I could get seat covers, but the tracks won't line up with the holes in the floor probably. You know how that goes. It's always some can of worms. This will be a can of worms too, I'm sure. You start with this. Can't order seat covers for this because these are the standard 4-door bench seats and nobody restores these. So they're not on the shelf anywhere. I'm gonna have to make my own, I guess. I have to figure out some way to, if it's worth even recovering, I'll have to find my own way to do that. I'm not really an upholstery expert. Last winter I had these grandiose ideas that I was gonna restore this interior back to, like, you know, really nice. I bought some fabric, I got myself a sewing machine, and then I completely ran out of ambition to do any of that. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. It was cold outside, I didn't have any space, I was tripping over myself. I worked on other projects because this fell by the wayside because of how it was really a hassle. It was out of my wheelhouse. I would just rather be wrenching on something than doing upholstery. But hey, it's arts and crafts. I thought I could get my head into it and really do a nice job, but do that. How'd they get a hog ring in there? God darn it. There it goes. I got it now. I'm experimenting with the GoPro. I want to see if it gets hot set down on a lower recording rate. I want to see how long the battery lasts. What camera are you using? Are you still using your cell phone? They sure are. They sure do work pretty well. I got some new camera equipment. We've been doing so much content creation that I'm trying to get tools so I can zoom in and focus better, and you know, just trying to get all the stuff so you guys can feel like you're, you know, make it enjoyable. Because why do it if you can't do a decent job of it? And like everything else, you gotta have the right tools. It's coming apart. See, that's a professionally made seat cover. That might even be the, that can't be the factory seat cover. I don't know. Is this the, does anybody know? This looks like a factory kind of matting. I've seen that in other vehicles. There's a lot of them. All they are is just like a staple. Alright, I apologize. That's my introduction. I'm going to turn the AC back on now because it is sweltering hot without it. Okay, when you run out of room with your chair, you rotate. And we can move around easier. Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, I think a set of mini bolt cutters might be the way to go, because I'm really prying hard with these. I mean, they work, but they're not, I don't think they're the best tool for removing hog rings. Okay, we got all those hog rings off. Now, it looks like someone's added this on, maybe to bring back some of the cushioniness. I'm not really sure, but you can see this is the old. You can see the line where the cross of the original was. Somebody put this on top of it to kind of bring back, yeah. Okay, so this is worn very thin. Passenger side, worn kind of thin. Middle, no wear. Honestly, the original stuff, see, this is the original stamping number. It's in better shape than the replacement stuff, so it's printed on the original. So that being what it is, and in the condition that it's in, I think I'm gonna pull it off, maybe. Maybe. The hog ringed on there a bit. It is. Do I wanna? Let's take another look and see if I want to mess with that. Oh man. So, how this works, right? The original factory, they have these metal springs, right? Like a bed. But then across, they have these wires. And these wires carry a lot of, distribute a lot of the load that would be sagging in between these springs and spread it out. They just use tape. It's embedded, and there's some fiberglass mesh looking stuff that's embedded in there. And that's all there to spread out the load, to keep all these springs they're in there. The frame is not busted. The mechanism is good, except for this spring is missing from this side, so we need to get some kind of, maybe we can get a garage door spring or something. I don't know what we'll get, but we need some kind of spring for the track. But the release mechanism works. Everything's pretty steady, stable, good. I have some replacement stuff, but I'm wondering if there's anything I could do to just stiffen up the driver's floor just a little. Because it is, I don't know, it's a little bit saggy. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna think about it, and then I'll bring it back.